In this video, we're gonna graph a function y equals -2 cosine of pi over 2x plus pi, quantity plus 3. All right, so first let's identify our parameters. Our amplitude A is -2, which means our graph is going to be stretched by a factor of 2, and then because it's negative, it's going to be flipped. Then identifying B. B is, remember, it's a coefficient in front of x, so it's pi over 2. C is the opposite of pi, so negative pi, because remember in the formula we have a negative sign here, so it's minus a negative pi, which gives us a positive pi. And also D equals 3. Now let's talk about what that means for our graph. As we already mentioned, A is the amplitude. B, well, B is actually our determines period of the graph. So P is, remember, it's 2 pi divided by B. So in our case, it's 2 pi divided by pi over 2. So I'm going to convert 2 pi into a fraction, multiply by the reciprocal. So we're canceling out pi, and we're going to get 4. So the period for this function is going to be 4. Let's talk about the phase shift. Phase shift. The phase shift is C divided by B. So we have a negative pi divided by pi over 2. So again, I'm going to rewrite it as negative pi over 1 divided by pi over 2. And then flip the fraction. So again, what happens is we're gonna pi and pi cancels out, and we have phase shift of -2. And finally, D is 3. So this is our vertical shift, 3 units up. So let's go ahead and set up this graph. Okay, so this is my scale, and so the period is 4, so I need to let's graph one period first. Now the phase shift is -2, so my period is gonna start here with -2, and it's gonna stop at +2. So I'm gonna kind of sketch it a little bit. Okay, so now the vertical shift is 3, so that means that my midline is gonna run through y equals 3. So, and I'm gonna, and the amplitude is 2, so I know that I'm gonna go above 2 units above 3 and 2 units below 3. So 2 units above 3 is going to be 5. So on the y scale, I need to fit 5. So what I'm going to do, if I make this 3, then I don't have enough room to go up. So I'm going to make one step here equal 2. So this is going to be 2, 4, 6, just make it smaller vertically. And the midline is going to go through y equals 3 like that. And I'm going to just sketch it, okay? Like that. That's the midline. So my cosine function is going to wrap around the midline. All right. So we know that function cosine reaches its maximum at the beginning of the period, so right here, and also at the end of the period, so on the other side, and it reaches its minimum in the center, so that's 3 minus 2 is going to be right here. But that would be, okay guys, so that would be, okay, and it also crosses the midline a quarter way from the beginning and a quarter way before the end. So if I was to sketch this graph with amplitude +2, this is what it would look like. Okay, but our, okay, going here, but our graph actually has an amplitude of -2. So what that means that it's going to be flipped around. And so the actual graph is going to go, okay, 1 is right here. Okay. And 5 is here. So our graph is actually going to go this way. Okay. And now we can actually, this is one period of it, right? And then we can continue graphing next periods like this. All right, so this is our cosine, modified cosine function. So it's -2 cosine of pi over 2x plus pi.